Hello and welcome. My name is Natalie from the Institutional Banking team in Australia, and thank you for joining me for this Service Requests in ANZ Transactive Global training webinar. Before I begin, I would like to acknowledge I'm joining you from Perth, Western Australia, the lands of the Whadjuk people of the Noongar Nation. I also acknowledge the traditional owners on the lands of which you are joining us from today. I pay my respects to elders past and present and emerging, and to any Indigenous people on the various lands joining us today. Our training webinars are designed to help you unlock the full potential and get the most out of ANZ Transactive Global, our digital web and mobile banking channel. Through a single interface, you can access common services such as cash management, trade finance, loans, commercial cards, foreign exchange, and data insights. In this webinar, I'll be taking you through how to navigate the service request menu and how to create and manage service requests in ANZ Transactive Global. Following today's session, I would encourage you to view our ANZ Digital Services Help page for further information on the topics discussed, as well as revisiting our previous webinars, and I will show you how to find these at the end of today's session. You will see that the Teams chat function is disabled. However, you can ask questions using the Q&A tab, which is located at the top of the screen. My colleagues are online and will answer as many questions as possible as we go. Today's training session is being recorded. The video and a copy of the question and answers, including any questions we're unable to answer during the session, will be published in ANZ Digital Services Help in the coming days, so you can re-watch or share with colleagues who weren't able to join us live. And the last thing before we start, this session is being conducted using a training environment, which means some of the screens and system behaviour may appear different to what you see on your live ANZ Transactive Global site. So please keep that in mind as we go. For anything outside of ANZ Transactive Global, we'll show screens from ANZ Digital Services Help. Service Requests in ANZ Transactive Global provides eligible users a digital connection to ANZ to create, view and manage a range of transactional, channel and account requests, meaning no form or phone call to ANZ to lodge your request. Today I'm going to take you through the service request menu in ANZ Transactive Global and the digital functionality available, including the request types that require a form and how you can upload these into ANZ Transactive Global. We can access the service request menu as you saw from the main menu, and this menu is divided into 4 submenus: payments and transactions, digital channels, and please note that this submenu option is only available for users who are enabled to create and amend users, account and legal entities, and upload documents. If you don't have access to the service request menu or the submenus you require, please speak with your company administrator. We will now take a look at each in more detail, starting with payments and transactions. And this menu relates to requests that are payment or transactional in nature. Each submenu has its own landing page, which contains any current service requests. As with all our screens in ANZ Transactive Global, they have their own control bar, and each of the 4 menus have the same control bar, and I'd like to take you through this now. View. By default, all is selected, showing all the requests. By clicking this, you can view requests either awaiting approval, action required, or by status. New. By clicking here, we can lodge a new request, and I will demonstrate this shortly. Search. Provides search fields where I can search for requests by account number, request type, and request status, to name a few. Searches can also be saved for future use and then can be accessed from the View drop-down. Group. This reorders the data on our screen by predefined criteria. For example, we can select request type, and then this will group all requests by request type. If we select filter and then enter criteria into one or more of the text boxes that are under each column heading, data will display matching the request. For example, if I'm looking for a request ID with a reference of 18862, When I type this into the filter field above request ID, it will show me any requests containing this number. Export enables the records on a screen to be exported to a CSV file. If I select refresh, the records on the screen are refreshed. And the settings button is used to save any changes I have made, including to view and group for next time I view this page. The data below this is displayed in a grid format, and this contains a summary of existing requests. And the grid contains several columns with information such as a request ID, request type, request status, and created by, to name a few. All grids in ANZ Transactive Global can be customised to suit your preferences and to help you organise and view relevant information and activity. And as you can see here, there are many columns, and depending on your screen size, you may need to scroll across the page to view them all. If this order does not suit you, or if some of the information is not relevant, then you can customise it. To hide or show columns, right-click any column heading and untick or tick the checkboxes next to the column name in the pop-up window. Excuse me. To customise the column order, click the column you want to move and then drag and drop the column to your preferred location. To resize columns, click the edge of the column heading and drag to your preferred size. To sort the columns, click the column heading and the column will reorder in ascending order. And click again to order in descending order. To fit the columns to the size of your window, right-click on the grid header and select Fit Columns to Window. To reset the columns, right-click any column heading, scroll down and click Reset Grid Columns. Click Settings and then Save Settings to save your newly customised grid. Let's now look at lodging a new request, and I'll take you through the steps to do this. From the control bar, click New, and you'll notice the different request types available. These include account and transaction inquiries, trace requests, claiming missing deposit requests, and ordering a deposit book, to highlight just a few. A common request to ANZ is a trace transaction. A trace is a request to obtain additional information about a transaction which can be used to help you identify the transaction and reconcile as required. Previously, this was lodged by phone or email to ANZ, and I would now like to take you through the steps to lodge this digitally. Let's select Trace Transaction. Select the relevant account, and the accounts available are based on your user permissions. If you do not have access to an account in the Service Request menu, please speak with your company administrator to arrange. Enter search criteria into the fields to locate the transaction you require the trace information for, and select Search. Select the transaction in question. And please note, some payment types, such as an OSCO payment, will not display in this search. If your transaction is not visible, I will show you how you can still lodge this request with us shortly. And please also note that only one transaction can be added to each request. Give the request a reference if required and select Next. And a reference will help you identify this request easily. Click Submit and the request will be sent to ANZ. A pop-up will display with the request ID and next step actions. We can either view the request, raise another request, or click OK to return to the landing page, where this request will now be visible from the landing page. You will receive an email notification each time the status of the request changes. For all our service requests in ANZ Transactive Global, to view comments or provide additional information if requested by ANZ, select the request. Scroll down to the Comments and Supporting Documents field, and this will contain a comment for your review and possible action. Here is a screenshot from ANZ Digital Services Help to show you what this would look like. Navigating back to our Service Request menu, as I mentioned before, If your transaction doesn't show in the listing for a trace request, you can still lodge this request with us, and this can be achieved by lodging a general transaction request. To create this request, click New from this menu. Click Transaction Inquiry. Select the relevant account and enter criteria into the search required fields. Select your transaction and enter data into the enter inquiry details field, free type, and enter your specific request. Add a contact number and give the request a reference if required. Click Next and then Submit. Again, a pop-up will display with your request ID and next step actions, and this request type does not require approval and will now be sent to ANZ for processing. The last request type in this submenu I would like to demonstrate is how to claim a missing deposit. Click New from the control bar and select Claim Missing Deposit Request. This request type is ideal if you have made a deposit to your account, such as a fast deposit bag, and the deposit amount is different or has yet to be deposited to your account. Select the relevant account from the drop-down. Enter the deposit date and select the deposit type, being cash, cheque, or both. Select the deposit method, being ATM, over-the-counter, or fast deposit bag. As I have selected fast deposit bag, enter the fast deposit bag number. Nominate if the deposit was made via a branch or direct to deposit method, and use the search function to search and select the relevant branch. Enter the transaction information, which includes the original deposit amount and the missing amount. Give your request a reference and click Next. Review the details and click Submit. Again, a pop-up will display with your request ID and next step actions, and this request will now be sent to ANZ for processing. Moving on to the Digital Channels submenu. This is where requests relating to users and channel can be lodged digitally, meaning no need to complete a form. Only users enabled with this permission will have this submenu. Select New, and this will display all request types available. These include Add a user, amend a user, and delete an account. Today, I would like to take you through the steps to create a user and amend an existing user. Let's start with creating a new user. Click Add User. Complete the user detail fields, noting those with an asterisk are a mandatory field for completion. Select the security device type you would like the user to be permissioned with, noting the information icon will describe each device type. You will notice the ANZ digital key is a recommended option. This is because as soon as the request is complete, the new user will immediately have this permission to them. Add the permissions to the new user, and this can be achieved in a couple of ways. I can either copy from an existing user or add the permissions manually. Today, I will copy the permissions from another user. Select Copy Permissions from another user and select the user you wish to copy. Then select Copy from User. A pop-up will display with the permissions you are going to give the new user. Click OK, and I can now use the Settings button on the right of each permission to review and update as required. I can also tick the checkbox on the left and click Delete if a permission is not required. Click OK, and I can now give this request a reference if required and click Next. Review the details, read the important information field, and tick the checkbox and click Submit. And once submitted, your service request will require approval as per your administration model before being sent to ANZ for processing. Again, the supporting comments and documents field will contain any comments for your review and possible action. If Know Your Customer or KYC is required, this is where you'll be notified and provided the options of how to achieve this. Any supporting documents can also be uploaded into this message and submitted back to ANZ for processing. Once the request is complete, the new user can download and install the ANZ Digital Key on their mobile device. The next request type I would like to demonstrate is how to amend an existing user. Click New and let's select Amend User. Select the required user and make the required changes. Today I'm going to add the ANZ Digital Key to this user's profile. Tick the checkbox. The ANZ Digital Key is our security device in the format of an app that can be installed on your phone. It enables you to log on and authenticate ANZ digital channel activities and transactions. You will also notice since selecting the ANZ Digital Key, the mobile number field has now been made mandatory. Please complete or update this field, and if any other changes are required, you can also include in this request. Again, give the request a reference if required, and click Next. Review the details and read the important information field, again ticking the checkbox, and click Submit. And once submitted, your request will require approval as per your administration model before being sent to ANZ for processing. Let's now take a look through the Accounts and Legal Entities submenu. Click New. Here we have several request types that can help you manage your accounts, statements, and bank feeds. Today I'll take you through a couple of these, starting with Generate an Account Confirmation Letter. From time to time, your organisation may be required to generate an account confirmation letter. Previously, this was completed via phone or email, and that took up to 48 hours to complete. This type of request can be time sensitive, so incorporating this into service requests means the account confirmation letter is available almost immediately. The letter is generated on ANZ letterhead and can be downloaded to a PDF. It contains key details such as the account name, account number, BSB and SWIFT code, and can be sent to your suppliers as required. Click Add to add up to 10 accounts to this request. And please note only accounts you are permissioned with or accounts eligible for this request type will be available for selection. Select from the field to Print drop-down to select the information required in the letter. If account descriptor is selected, to view the account descriptor, click View. If your account descriptor requires amending, I will show you shortly how you can do this. Give the request a reference and click Next. Read and tick the checkbox and click Submit. This request will not require approval, and from this pop-up we can select View Request Details to view and download the account confirmation letter. Simply click Download All letters or individually download each. You can click the download icon on the right. And here is a sample of the account confirmation letter. I promised I would show you how to amend the account descriptor. To do this, we can create a new request. Let's close out of this request first and click New. Then select Amend Statement Preferences. Click Add to add the account or up to 10 accounts that require the changes. Click Amend on the far right, and here we can amend things such as statement frequency, the account descriptor, and statement delivery details. Click Save, and if more than one account was added to the request, make the required changes to each account, give the request a reference, and click Next. Click Submit and the changes will be made in near real time and no approval will be required for this request type. Again, a pop-up will display with your next step options. This time, let's click Raise Another Request, as I would like to demonstrate how to lodge a request to stop paper statements. Click Stop Paper Statement Request Type. And as with the previous request, select Add to add the account or accounts to this request. And again, up to 10 accounts can be added to each request. Give the request a reference and click Next. Read and tick the checkbox and click Submit. And no approval is required for this request type. And all future statements will now be available for review from the Accounts menu in ANZ Transactive Global. To navigate to the statements from the main menu, let's select Accounts. Then select E-Statements in the submenu. Select the account and then the date range. Then click Get Statements to view and download the required statement. E-statements are also available for download for a date range of up to 5 years. Let's navigate back to our Service Requests menu. The final Service Request menu I'd like to take you through today is Upload Documents submenu. Click New to view the request types available. This menu covers the request types that require a form with signatures to complete. For example, to open a new account, select the Open Account request type. The steps will display on screen, including a link to download the account opening form. As I am using a demonstration site, the link to the form doesn't load. However, in your live site, this will. This is a sample of the form, and some of you may be familiar with this smart form. Complete the form, have it signed by the appropriate signatories. Upload the completed form to the request by dragging and dropping in the field, or click Browse to navigate to your saved file locally. You can attach more than one file if required, and each file type can be restricted, meaning the uploaded file will only be available to be viewed by the user who uploaded it. And ANZ recommends Restricted View is selected for any sensitive and/or personal documents. Give the request a reference and read and tick the declaration box. Click Submit, and the request will now be submitted to ANZ for processing. Lastly, I would like to take you through ANZ Digital Services Help that I have referred to during the webinar. Simply click on the Help icon at the top right in the application banner from your ANZ Transactive Global login, and this will open ANZ Digital Services Help in a new tab. ANZ Digital Services Help is an online self-service database of step-by-step guides, instructional videos, and frequently asked questions for our digital channels, including ANZ Transactive Global. The Help portal is made up of 3 segments: Search, Popular Topics, and Support Categories. Select the search function to search for specific areas of interest. For example, I can type Service Request Status to quickly view detailed information on the various statuses for our service requests. Let's click the ANZ logo in the application banner at the top left to return to ANZ Digital Services homepage. Popular topics. Here you can view and easily access the most commonly read topics by our customers, and I would like to highlight the Register for an Upcoming Webinar tile. A list of webinars that are current will display. Recorded webinars are also available for you to watch or share with colleagues, and these can be found by clicking the Recorded Webinars link. Today's webinar will be found in the Service Request drop-down in the coming days. To navigate back to ANZ Digital Services homepage, let's click the ANZ logo in the application banner at the top left again. Lastly, let's take a look at support categories. This includes all topics covered in ANZ Digital Services Help. Just click on a topic that interests you and you'll see all the related articles together for easy access. Let's click Service Requests. This contains links to a number of articles relating to what we have discussed today, and I would like to highlight in particular the Service Request video. This is a newly updated video that provides step-by-step instructions on how to lodge and manage your requests. Service Request Types. This is broken down by the 4 different menus, and you will find additional information relating to the region the request is available, a brief description of each request type, and if approval is required. And lastly, our frequently asked questions. Here you can find frequently asked questions relating to several service request topics, and I would like to highlight the eligible account frequently asked questions. Select this drop-down to view a table which displays accounts that are enabled for each service request. You will also find frequently asked questions relating to access, users, and devices, which includes handy information and links to permission settings for service requests and how to manage these. And that brings us to the end of our service requests in ANZ Transactive Global webinar. On the page I'm about to display is a list of our upcoming webinars, together with a QR code to register for these upcoming events. A reminder that a recording of this session, as well as the question and answer, will be added to ANZ Digital Services Help in the coming days if you wish to revisit or share with a colleague who couldn't join us. You can get to ANZ Digital Services Help by scanning this QR code currently on the screen, or by clicking that help icon next time you are signed into ANZ Transactive Global. I hope this session has been of value, and we do look forward to you attending our future ANZ Transactive Global webinars. Thank you.